The former leaders AC Milan dropped more points this past match week as they could only muster a draw. But what about the leaders right here, right now? Internazionale. Guess what? It's another win. We'll take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks. Parma to give another prediction show today. We're taking a look at match day number 26 out in Serie A. And we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, I'm asking you, where the bloody heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe to get bang out today with all things Papa Rose related, Serie A related, whoa, football related. We got it all here. Under Ruski, that's right. Of course, Milan slipping up. Only mustered a draw this past week as Juventus, Internazionale, and even who else picked up big fight? Atalanta as well, picking up big wins to keep on the heat at the top of the table. We'll take a look at all of that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are, the VIP band and brothers. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for some continued support. If anyone else wants to join those band of men and women, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. So here we go. And of course, my transparent t-shirt. It's crazy. Look at it. Look at it. It's insane in the membrane. Let's take a look at, of course, how I got on. Of course, and I'll look at how you got on. Of course, we did have one postponement. Lazio did not get to go and take on Torino, so I actually went with the 2-0 win for this one, but unfortunately we'll have to wait and see. The Juventus, though, did play on Tuesday. Bloody night. 3-0 win over Spezia. Alvaro Morata on Scotia, Chiesa as well. Cristiano Ronaldo on the 89th minute to keep on his insane scoring run. He is actually still top goal scoring at the moment, 20 goals this season. Meanwhile, of course, I went with a 3-0, not too shabby, in fact, pretty good as well. Kicking on forward, what do we have? We have Sassuolo taking a look at Napoli. It was a 6-goal thriller, 3-3 in the end. Nikola Maximovic on Scotia with a big for OG, Domenico Berardi and Francesco Caputo on Scotia for Sassuolo. Fun penalty spots there. Pietro Zelensky, Giovanni De Lorenzo and Lorenzo Insigne on Scotia for Napoli as they shared their spoils. I can remember the 1-1 draw, not as many goals, but the same sort of end result, 1-1 in the end. Cagliari, they did beat Bologna 1-0, big win for them as well. Daniele Ruggiani on the scoresheet giving them the win. Got that one bang on the nose as well. Pretty good start for me. Kicking arse and taking names. Got the one bang on the nose. We got Atalanta 5-1 winners over Crotone with Robin Guzans on the scoresheet. Jose Luis Palomino, Luis Marial, Josip Ilic and Alexander Mirakic on the scoresheet. Giving Atalanta the win. Of course, Simi getting the goal for Crotone. Not good enough. 2-0 for me. Not too shabby. Fiorentina. They could only muster a draw. They got nothing. Lorenzo, Leonardo Spinazzola on the scoresheet. Amado Diawara as well. Spinazzola also put the ball in the back of his own net. And he came out with nothing on that one. Again, I got myself that one bang on the bloody nose. What's going on? We should just end it right there. Because after this, I did shit. Of course, AC Milan against Crotone, Udinese 1-1 draw in the end. Rodrigo Biacaco on the score sheet. Frank Kessie as well for the spot. Late equaliser. Nice 7th minute to give Milan a share of the spoils. Actually, one of the 2-0 win for Milan. Shame on me. Benevento against Hellas Verona ended up as a win for Verona. 3-0 in the end, brother. Marco Farioni, Duan Faluni with a big fat OG and Kevin Lasagna on score sheet for Hellas Verona. I actually remember the draw. What was I thinking? Of course, Genoa against Sampdoria. That ended up as a draw. I think 1-1 in the end. This was on Wednesday night, of course. David Sapacosta on the score sheet. Lorenzo Tonelli on the score sheet for, of course, Sampdoria, giving them the share of the spoils. Actually, remember the 2-1 for Sampdoria. And of course, Inter Milan took care of business against Parma 2-1 in the end. Alex Sanchez with a brace. Hernani on the score sheet as well for Parma, giving them a little bit of hope, but unfortunately, not good enough. I got this one right as well. 2-0 in the end. 2, 4, 5, 6 for me, which is pretty good, lads. Pretty good. Of course, the table looks like this. Inter Milan lead the charge. 59 points on the board. Of course, AC Milan now 6 points adrift as they are into 53 points. Of course, Atalanta are third. Juventus are fourth. Good 10 points adrift off the top at the moment. But Juventus still have a game in hand. As for the foot of the table, Crotone, Parma and Torino going down. Oh my goodness. Matey boy, but the goal scoring machine from Torino needs to get his ass out of there. What's his name? Belotti. Get your ass moving. Get yourself to Blackburn Rovers. That's what we need. It's the criteria. Well, not to 3. It's a kind of a Brucey bonus. Really, I think it's 0 to 2. Or was it 0 to 3? Maybe it's 0 to 3. 4 to 6. 4 to 6. Should we do that? Should we change that up? Or change that bloody up? Hey, 4. That's right. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And you know the drill. Let's go. Let's have a look at it. Here we go. Ivan Stringer did good. Judge Asif also did fabulous. Well done indeed. Of course, Manchester United did okay. The D-Man did bits. He also did good. Of course, Matt did bits. Hans Worst did okay. JSB CFC are great. You did good. Of course, Nathan Eva, well done to you. Of course, Alan MC, you know me, you did good as well. Gerard Halupa also did great. Costas K, he's okay. Olagiojo did fabulous, of course, well done. Of course, Alex Weller did bits. Well done to you, well done. Ultra Omira, absolutely fantastic as well. Nukare, Jugari did bits as well. JT the Great did great. Yannick Safi did shite. Isami I did good. Shane O'Donnell did good as well. Well done to you. Yannick Buster also did bits. Russell Frost, well done. You did shit this week. Tom Stainer also did very, very, very good, of course. And Benson Ong did all right. I'm asking you, well done to you. Hitting a home run, of course. Cody Carr also did very, very well. Shepard also did good. And Gaming Charlie hit a home run as well. Absolutely fantastic. What's that done? It looks like we've got a monster lead. If it is Frosty, don't look at it, brother. You're kicking ass everywhere else, but you had a little nightmare here. Alex Weller, Gaming Charlie, Georgie Geist, Omar Askew, Tom Stainer are your kingpins for this week. Take a bloody bow. You are well done, well done. You deserve your crown. You deserve your moment in glory. But where are you in the overall shenanigans? Of course, Georgie Isaf is new. But of course, Alex Weller's up there. I think he's actually in second spot. 1 percentage points behind, of course, on Magi Monday, who had a nightmare himself. Just 5 this time around. Alex Weller closing in on him. Closing 2 points, as is Gaming Charlie as well. Gaining in on it. Of course, Costas K, he did all right as well. Not too bad for the big boys this week. Of course, some of the other guys did absolutely shocking. Of course, Magi Monday, if the season was to end today, you would be king. You would be crowned. But of course, we have a whole bunch of fixtures coming at you right here, right now. Kicking it all off this Saturday. It would be Spezia up against Benevento. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, Spezia the last 6-3 wins apiece. Of course, last time around at Spezia was a 1-0 win for Benevento back in Serie B, of course, back in October 2019. The goal scorers on that day was Andres Tello on the score sheet, giving Benevento the win. Christian Mago got himself sent off as well, as they ended up with 10 men. They also Spezia this season. Back in November, of course, in Benevento was a 3-0 win, of course, for Spezia. Tommaso Peboa, Mbala, and Zola with a couple of goals there. Benevento have actually failed to score in the last 3 matches. They've also failed to win the last 9. Coming into this without a win in 3, though, is Spezia. Of course, last time they won was against AC Milan back in the middle of the month of February. Of course, back-to-back defeats, though, for Benevento, losing to Napoli, losing to Verona. What about the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, let's have a look at this one then. Spezia coming at you. Where is it? Where, buddy, is it? Coming Spezia 21-20 for the victory. 30-5 is your Benevento, of course. 12-5 is the draw. Benevento coming at you all the way down in, of course, 16th. But a win for them, they could go as high as 12th. Spezia are actually in 15th as well. A win for them also could go as high as 12th in the table. Mid-table crunch clash on this one. All square here. All eyes on it as well. Udinese taking, of course, Sassuolo. They played each other the last 6 2. So Udinese won for Sassuolo 3 draws last time around. In Udinese, it was a 3-0 win, of course, for Udinese back in January 2020. Stefano Okaka on the score sheet. Ken Zima, and now in the books, of course, at Watford. Rodrigo De Paul on the score sheet as well for Udinese. They also played each other this season in Sassuolo. It was a 0-0 draw back in November. Udinese kept a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 matches against Sassuolo in all comps. They've also kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches at home as well. They're coming to this just one defeat in the past 6 for Udinese. That was against Roma. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 6 for Sassuolo against Crotone on Valentine's Day. Look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, 31-20, that's your Udinese. 94 is your draw. 95 is your Sassuolo. Sassuolo coming into this in, of course, 9th, but a win for them, they could go 8th, whereas Udinese are in 11th, and win for them, they could actually go as high as 10th in the table. Difficult one, this one, but they go with Sassuolo on the road, picking up the 3 points. Next up, we have fruity one. Is a really, really good one, of course. Juventus take, of course, Lazio. It's 4th against 7th, of course. Played to the last 6, 3 for Juventus, 2 for Lazio, 1 draw. Last round in Juventus was a 2-1 win for Juve, of course, back in July 2020. Ronaldo with a brace. Silvio Immobile on the score sheet as well. They also played each other in Rome this season back in November. It was a 1-1 draw. Philip Casado on the score sheet for Lazio. This time around, Cristiano Ronaldo again on the score sheet once a time for Juventus. Juventus are winning their last 6 home matches, keeping a clean sheet, and last 4 at home as well. Also scored at least 2 goals in those last 6. They came into this just 2 wins in the past 6 games for Juventus, beating Crotone and also beating Spezia. As for the flip side, just 1 win in the past 4 games for Lazio. That one was against Sampdoria as well. Look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Lazio coming out just 60-5 for the victory. Juventus are 65 on, and 11-4 is the draw. Win for Lazio in 7th. They could go as high as 6th. Juventus in 4th. A win for them. They could go as high as 3rd in the bloody table. They'll get the win. 3-1. It'll be pretty. It'll be effective, and there'll be plenty of goals in it. Kicking it forward, it'll be Roma up against Genoa. Also on Sunday, this one. Played to the last 6, 4 for Genoa, it's 4 for Roma, nothing for Genoa, 2 draws. Last round in Roma was a 6-goal thriller. Back in August 2019, it was Cherik Under on score sheet, Edin Zeko as well, Alexander Kolarov as well, Antonio Pianomotti, Domenico Kistico, and Christian Kurame. sharing the spoils there, of course, in a 3-3 draw. They also played in Genoa back in November. It was a 3-1 win for Roma. Of course, Henrik Mkhitaryan with the hat-trick and Marco Pacciacca on the score sheet for Genoa. Of course, heading into this, though, Roma keeping scoring at least 2 goals in the last 8 matches against Genoa at home. They also defeated in the last 13 matches against Genoa in all comps. They come into this just one defeat the past 6 games for Roma. That was against AC Milan. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Genoa. The 1 defeat was against Inter Milan, of course, but they've been drawing the last 3 of the last 4 as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one, then, shall we? Of course, 2-1 is 2-1 on is your Roma, 16-5 is your draw, 11-2 is your Genoa. Genoa coming at you in, of course, 13th, but a win for them. They could go 11th. Roma are in 5th, and a win for them. They could actually go as high as third in the table. They'll get the win as well on Sunday, of course, 2-0 win in the end to give them the 3 points. Kicking on further, what do we have? We have Verona up against AC Milan. Of course, played the last 6, 1 win for Verona, 3 for Milan, and 2 draws last round. In Verona was a 1-0 win for Verona. That's back in September 2019. Christoph Piatek on the score sheet for, of course, AC Milan from the Pirate Sport. Davide Calabria got himself sent off, and Marius Stepensky also got himself sent off last round in Verona. They also played each other this season in Milan. It was a 2-2 draw back in November. Giancarlo Meggiani on the score sheet with the big fat OG Zlatan as well for AC Milan. Anthony Baric and Davide Cabraldi with the big fat OG this time around. Milan, they're winning 12 of the last 14 matches away from home in Serie A. They come into this just 1 win in the past 6 games. That 1 win was against Roma. They have had a lot of defeats to, of course, Inter Milan, Spezia, and draws with Red Star, and, of course, Udinese. Meanwhile, heading into this just without a loss, or 4 games without a defeat. That's Verona picking up 2 wins and 2 draws in the last 4 games. Look at his odds on this one then, shall we? Verona coming at you 30-5 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 11-10 is your away win. Of course, Verona in 8th, the win for them. They could close in on 7th. AC Milan 2nd, the win for them. They could close in on 1st. Going to go with AC Milan, go with my head and my heart. Go for it, boys. Get the 3 points and move the chains. Next up, of course, for Fiorentina, taking, of course, Parma. They played each other the last 6, 1 for Fiorentina, 2 for Parma, 3 draws last time around. In Fiorentina was a 1-1 draw back in November 2019. Cateno Castrovilli on the score sheet. Gervinho on the score sheet for Parma last time around. Of course, they played each other this season. In Parma was the 0-0 draw back in November. Parma, though, failing to win their last 16 matches, conceding at least 2 goals in the last 7. They come into this just 1 win. In fact, no wins. No wins in the past 6 games for Parma. In fact, just 1 defeat over the past 3. The rest have been draws. Meanwhile, 1 win in the past 6 games for Fiorentina. That was against Spezia a couple of games back as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Fiorentina 11-10 on for the victory, 30-5 is draw. Parma 3-1 for the W. They come into this in 19th, and with them they could close in on 18th, whereas Fiorentina in 14th, and with them they could go as high as Swallow in the old table. They'll get the win on this one, 2-0 over Parma, who are shite. Next up we have Crotone taking, of course, Torino. Must win for both of these 2 sides. But for the last 6, nothing for Crotone, 3 for Torino and 3 draws last time around. In Crotone was a 4-goal thriller, 2-2 in the end back in 2017 in October. Marcus Rodin, Bruno Mattella as well, Iago Falchi and Lorenzo Del Zaviti on score sheet for Torino last time around. They also played this season was also a 0-0 draw in Torino. Crotone having lost their last 7 Serie A matches. Also Torino undefeated in the last 9 against Crotone in all competitions. However, heading into this, 6 defeats on the spin for Crotone. Of course, just unbeaten in the last 5 for Torino, picking up 4 draws and a win to boot. Look at the bookies odds on this one, shall we? Of course, Crotone coming at you 14-5 for the victory. Even Stevens for Torino, 12-5 is the draw. Torino are in 18th, but a win for them. They could go as high as 17th. Whereas opposition Crotone actually rooted to the table, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 19th in the table. I think Torino will nick this with a 1-0 win. Not big, not impressive, but just enough for the 3 points. Sampdoria taking Cagliari. I played for the last 6, 2 for Sampdoria, 3 for Cagliari, 1 draw last round in Sampdoria. Was a 3-0 win for Sampdoria back in July 2020. Manuel Gabbiadini on score sheet, Federico Balnazzoli with a couple of goals as well. They also played this season in Cagliari. It was back in November. Of course, a 2-0 win for Cagliari. Sampdoria, they're winning 6 of the last 7 home matches against Cagliari in all comps, keeping a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 home matches against Cagliari as well. Coming into this, just 1 win in the past 6 games for Sampdoria. That was against Fiorentina. Meanwhile, back-to-back wins for Cagliari, beating Crotone and beating Bologna to give them a bit of hope there. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Sampdoria 27-20, 12-5 is your draw, 2-1 is your Cagliari. Cagliari coming into this just above the top zone, but a win for them. They could close in on, of course, 16th versus Sampdoria in 10th. A win for them. They could actually go closer to 9th. Going to go with Sampdoria. They're my boys. 2-0 win over Cagliari to get the 3 points and move the bloody chains. Napoli take, of course, Bologna, of course. Last 6 between these 2 sides. 3 for Napoli, 2 for Bologna, 1 draw last round. In Napoli was a 2-1 win for Bologna. Get that in your veins. Of course, back in December 2019, goal scorers were Andres Skov Olsen on the score sheet, Nicolas Sanzone for Bologna, me with Fernando Lodiente on the score sheet for Napoli. Where the heck is he these days? I'm googling him. I'm going down the old rabbit hole. That is Fernando Lodiente. Where are you, Fernando? Fernando, he's on the books of Udinese. I don't think he scored too many. He's 36. Formerly of Swansea and Spurs. He's only played 6 goals for Udinese. He's probably going to pack it in at the end of this season, I think. 1.5 year deal. We're probably he's there for another season, it looks like. Anyway, heading into this badger, of course. Where are we? We were talking about Napoli Bologna, of course. They did play each other in Bologna back in, of course, November. It was a 1-0 win for Napoli. Napoli came to a clean sheet in the last 4 home matches, and they come into this having won the last 4 home matches as well. They come into this 3 games without a loss, picking up wins against Granada and Benevento, of course, drawing with Sassuolo. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 5 games for Bologna. That was against Cagliari just the other day. Meanwhile, the bookies odds on this one, the shower, of course, Napoli coming at you, of course, 20 to 11 on there. Stone Cold favourite, 16 to 5 is your draw. 5 to 1 is Bologna on this one. Bologna coming into this, of course, in 12th. And for them, they could actually go as high as 10th. Napoli are actually in 6th, and for them, they could go 5th. They'll get the win here with a 3-0 win, move the chains, and then wrap it up. It'll be a fruity one. It's Inter Milan up against Atalanta. They played the last 6. 1 for Inter, 1 win for Atalanta. 4 draws last round in Milan. Was of course back in January 2020. It was a 1-1 draw last season. Lautaro Martinez on Squishy Ruben Guzens as well. They also played this season in Atalanta. It was a 1-1 draw. Lautaro Martinez and Alexei Maranochuk as well. Inter have actually won their last 9 home matches. They've also, Atalanta have actually won their last 4. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Atalanta in all competitions up against Real Madrid. Meanwhile, 4 wins on the spin for Inter Milan. Difficult one, this one. Bookies odds. This is on Monday night. 21 to 20 for Inter Milan. 12 to 5 is your Atalanta. 30 to 5 is the draw. Atalanta are actually in 3rd. For them, they could close it in on 2nd. Inter Milan, of course, 6 points clear of AC Milan. They could make it 9 if they get a win and AC Milan flip up. They'll get the win for me. 2-1 win for Inter Milan, but it could go either way. It could end up being a draw. You just don't know. If I'm right, which I probably will hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Inter Milan will still have 6 points clearance over AC Milan, who have still have 4 points clear over Juventus, who have a game in hand. Roma into 4th, Atalanta down to 5th. Cagliari, Parma, Crotone going down. Torino hanging on in there. That's my picks. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this. I will do it all again very, very soon, of course. Be sure to check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Patreon. If you want to become the latest brother from another mother, check that sucker out. For as little as a bottle of soda, pal, you can become the latest member of the Patreon gang. Check that sucker out. Until then, be sure to be safe out there, mask up, 6 feet and all that kind of stuff. Get your picks in. Come on, AC, let's make a meal out of this. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Until then, I'm out.